Well, hello, my YouTube fellas and gals. So, if you're new to my channel, my name's Tammy, and I own a used bookstore, and I sell books. But I'm also a resource center. If you read a Kindle or a Nook and you would like to know what books are out there, I read the synopsises. I try to of 10 books each video. And if you do want to buy books from me, everything will be in the description below. You can reach me at tammysmakeuptreats@gmail.com, or you can contact me through Minda's Bookstore and more on Facebook, and let me know what lot number or just the title and the author of the book, and I will get it back for you, and I will post it in my Etsy, and then you can go there and check out as a guest or sign up or however you want to do it. So today we have book number 1, and these are in action and suspense. This is lot 61, and these are all paperbacks, but they're large paperbacks. So these are $2.50 a piece. So the first book is called The Forgotten by Elie Wiesel, winner of a Nobel Peace Prize. The book is a 1992 copyright. This is what it looks like, of course. And I do go through and clean my books and clean them up and make sure that they're in the best shape for you if you purchase them. Distinguished psychotherapist and survivor Elhanan Rosenbaum is losing his memory to an incurable disease. Never having spoken of the war years before, he resolves to tell his son about his past, the heroic parts as well as the parts that fill him with shame before it's too late. Elhanan's story compels his son to go into the Romanian village where the crime that continues to haunt his father was committed. There he encounters the improbable wisdom of a grave digger who leads him to the grave of his grandfather and to the truths that bind one generation to another. This sounds really good. So this is book number 1. I gotta erase something out of it. There was a mark in pencil. I try to keep these clean. I did not know that. Sometimes I miss a spot. So that's book number 1. Book number 2, we have The Stranger. This is by Albert Camus, and it is a 1988 book. Camus is what his name is, Albert Camus. What the book looks like, and this is what it's about. Since it was first published in English in 1946, Albert Camus's first novel, The Stranger, has had a profound impact on millions of American readers through the story of an ordinary man who unwillingly gets drawn into a senseless murder on a sun-drenched Algerian beach. Camus explored what he termed the nakedness of man faced with the absurd. Now in an illuminating New American Translation, extraordinary for its exactitude and clarity, the original intent of The Stranger is made more immediate. This haunting novel has given new life for generations to come, and it was translated from French by Matthew Ward. That sounds like an interesting book. So that is book number 2, which had rating it too. I thought I had them all clean. See? Do a video, makes you bite your words. Okay, so then we have book number 3. This is called Blue Cold by Clive Cussler with Paul Capricos. This is a 2000 copyright, and this is what the book is about. From deep within the Venezuelan rainforest emanates the legend of a white goddess and a mysterious tribe with startling technical accomplishments. Few believe the tribe exists, and even fewer suspect its deity may hold knowledge that can change the course of history. For National Underwater and Marine Agency crew leader Kurt Austin, investigation into the sudden deaths of rare whales leads him to the Mexican coast, where someone tries to put him and his mini-sub permanently out of commission. Meanwhile, in South America's lush hills, especially assigned NUMA crew, turns up the white goddess legend and a murderous cadre of biopirates, intent on stealing medicinal secrets worth millions. Soon, Austin and his crew realize they're working the opposite ends of the same grand scheme. A billionaire California tycoon is poised to rise to power by monopolizing the Earth's vastly depleted freshwater reserves and ultimately dominate the world. Austin has a hunch. Venezuela's mythical tribal goddess has more real roots in science and may be the key to locating a secret formula that could turn vast amounts of seawater into fresh. But with each step into the bush, he and his NUMA team feel like fish out of water and must fight a deadly twisting trail of enemies through a dense jungle of treachery, blackmail, and murder. So there you go. Book number 3. Book number 4. We have Humble Pie by Ron and Janet Benery. This is a 2004 copyright, and this is what it's about. Pippa Honeychurch is thrust into her own legal thriller when the hottest software company in town hauls her recruiting firm into court on a charge of consultant malpractice. A bad situation gets even worse when the ruthless industry spy who orchestrated Pippa's legal woes starts killing people and decides to include Pippa on the growing list of victims. Humble Pie is the third installment in a series of books chronicling Pippa Honeychurch's adventures, misadventures, and growth in faith and trust in the Christian walk. Readers and reviewers alike have been singing the praises of this likable series of books, ably crafted by Ron and Janet Benery. All the elements for a successful suspense novel are in place, but in the end, it's the character of Pippa that hooks the reader, whether she's whipping up an English trifle, dodging gunfire, fending off amorous advances, or breaking into an office under cover of darkness. Pippa has all the earmarks of a compelling and same sort of reader loyalty as Agatha Christie's Miss Marple or Sue Grafton's Kingsley Milhouse engender. Delightful dialogue, understated humor, and a right blend of romance and suspense guarantee the craving for a sequel. So there you go. Book number 4. Book number 5, we have The Altman Code by Robert Ludlum. The series is created by Robert Ludlum, but it's written by Gail Lins. So this is a 2003 copyright. And this is what the book looks like. This is what the book is about. This is a synopsis. Yeah, I'm blurping myself today. In the middle of the night on the dark waterside docks of Shanghai, a photographer is recording cargo being secretly loaded when he's brutally killed and his camera destroyed. Shortly thereafter, Covert One director Fred Klein brings word to the president that there's a Chinese cargo ship rumored to be carrying tons of chemicals to be used by a rogue nation to create a new biological weapons. The president cannot let the ship land and risk the consequences of a new stockpile of deadly chemical weapons. Klein is ordered to get the president solid proof of what the Chinese ship is ferrying. Covert One agent John Smith is sent to rendezvous in Taiwan with another agent who has acquired the ship's true manifest. But before Smith can get the document, the two agents are ambushed. The second agent is murdered. The proof is destroyed, and Smith escapes with only his life. Scant clues to the mystery behind the cargo ship and a verbal message. The president's biological father is still alive, held prisoner by the Chinese for 50 years. As the Chinese cargo ship draws ever closer to its end port, Smith must race against the clock to uncover the truth about the ship and its cargo, a truth that probes the deepest secrets of the Chinese ruling party. The faction in Washington working to undermine the elected government and the international cabal who is thrusting the world to the very brink of war. So there you go. Book number 5. Book number 6, we have Scenting Evil. Look at that eyeball. Woo! Based on the case files of a crime-solving clairvoyant. So this is what the book looks like. It is a 2002 copyright. It's called Scenting Evil by DJ Adams. There's marker writing on the first page. I always give myself little notes. And there's like the marker there. And this is what the book is about. Some years ago, in a peaceful southern town, 2 7-year-old girls are mysteriously kidnapped. DJ Adams' fictional clairvoyant, Lindsay Freeman, is brought in by local police, desperate to find the little girls before it's too late. Lindsay's able to delve into the mind and being of the kidnapper, seeing, smelling, even feeling his demented urge to steal the little girls as his pets and hide them away for his own pleasure. She leads the town's sheriff and the FBI on an ever more complicated and baffling case after the twisted kidnapper, his small victims, and his own tragic history. So this is interesting. Based on the case files of a real crime-solving clairvoyant, DJ Adams' first thriller is heart-stopping race to find a demented killer and the 2 little girls he has kidnapped from their own doorsteps. So there you go. That looks like a good book. That is book number 6. Book number 7, we have Skeleton Coast by Clive Cussler with Jack DeBrule. This is a 2006 copyright. There's the man himself. And let's see what his book's about. He likes to hide his synopsis from me. Okay. 1896, 4 Englishmen flee for their lives across the merciless Kalahari Desert, carrying a stolen fortune and raw diamonds and hunted by a fierce African tribe. The thieves manage to reach the waiting HMS Rove, only to die with their pursuers in a storm that buries them all under tons of sand. Today, Juan Cabrillo and the crew of the covert combat ship Oregon have barely escaped a mission on the Congo River when they intercept a mayday from a defenseless boat under fire off the African coast. Cabrillo takes action, saving the craft along with beautiful Sloane McIntyre. Sloane is looking for a now submerged Rove, and her search has attracted unwanted and lethal attention from unknown forces. But what surprises Cabrillo is her story about a crazy fisherman who claims to have been attacked on the open sea by giant metal snakes in the same area. What begins as a snake hunt leads Cabrillo to the trial of a far more lethal quarry, a deranged enemy whose quadrant of followers plans to unleash the devastating power of nature itself against all who will oppose them. So there you go. Book 7. Book number 8. We have Intervention by Terry Blackstock. This is a 2009 copyright. Got a little bit of aging around the pages a little bit. And this is what it's about. Her last hope is the beginning of a new nightmare. Barbara Covington has one more chance to save her daughter from a devastating addiction by staging an intervention, but when 18-year-old Emily disappears on the way to drug treatment and her interventionist is found dead at the airport, Barbara enters her darkest nightmare of all. Barbara and her son set out to find Emily before Detective Kent Harlan arrests her for a crime he is sure she committed. Fearing for Emily's life, Barbara maintains her daughter's innocence, but does she really know her anymore? Meanwhile, Ken has questions of his own. His gut tells him that this is a case of an addict killing for drugs, but as he gets to know Barbara, he begins to hope he's wrong about Emily. The panic level rises as the mysteries intensify. Did Emily's obsession with drugs lead her to commit murder, or is she another victim of a cold-blooded killer? So there you go. Book number 8. Book number 9, we have Always Watching by Chevy Stevens. This is a 2013 copyright, and this is what the book is about. In the lockdown ward of psychiatric hospital, Dr. Nadine Laveau is in her element. She has the tools to help people, and she has the desire of healing broken families is what she lives for. But Nadine doesn't want to look too closely at her own past because there are whole chunks of her life that are black holes. It takes all of her willpower to tamp down her current claustrophobia, and her daughter Lisa is a runaway who's been on the streets for 7 years. When a distraught woman, Heather Simon, is brought into the psychiatric intensive care unit after a suicide attempt, Nadine gently coaxes her story out of her and learns of some troubling parallels with her own life. Digging deeper, Nadine is forced to confront her traumatic childhood and the damage that began when she and her brother were brought by her mother to a remote commune on Vancouver Island. What happened to Nadine, why her family destroyed, and what does the name of the group's leader, Aaron Quinn, provoke complex feelings of terror into Nadine's even today. Then the unthinkable happens, and Nadine realizes the danger is closer to home than she ever imagined. She has no choice but to face what terrifies her the most and fight back. So there is book number 9. The last book we have is book number 10. This is called The Deptford Trilogy by Robertson Davies. This is an older book. It is a 1977 copyright. There's actually 3 books in here. It's called Fifth Business, The Manticore, and World of Wonders. And around a mysterious death is woven a glittering, fantastical, cunningly contrived trilogy of novels, luring the reader down a labyrinth of tunnels of myth, history, and magic. The Deptford Trilogy provides an exhilarating antidote to a world from where the fear and dread and splendor of wonder have been banished. And that's all you get. Secret. So this looks interesting. So there is book number 10. So with that, whatever time zone you're in, I hope you're having a great one. And thank you so much for stopping by my channel and commenting, because I love listening to the commenters in my comment section. And with that, you have a great and blessed day. Bye. I'll see you soon.